Hey there. So what if I ask you the indefinite integral of 1 over 1 plus x square? Now what would you say this evaluates to? Well, I guess you'll just say that this is tangent inverse of x, and I guess you are right, because if you differentiate tangent inverse of x, then you indeed get 1 over 1 plus x square. But I will say that this actually evaluates to negative cotangent inverse of x. Am I crazy? Well, let's see. So let's take this integral and let's multiply it by negative 1 twice. So 1 negative 1 and 2 negative 1s. So I hope you agree that this doesn't really change the integrand, right? Because I multiplied it by negative 1 twice, so that just makes it multiplying by 1. But now look what we have, because this thing is actually the negative, sorry, not negative. This is actually the cotangent inverse of x. So if you differentiate cotangent inverse of x, this is what you get. Negative 1 over 1 plus x square. And you have a negative over here, so you just put negative cotangent inverse of x. So for this integral, we are getting tangent inverse of x on one hand, that's what you're saying, and I'm saying negative cotangent inverse of x. And we both seem to be right, because if you differentiate this, you get this, and if you differentiate this, also you will get this. So who is right, who is wrong, and why? Well, the game is of the plus c. So if we put the plus c, everything matches out. So let me show you what I mean. So obviously if you put negative cotangent inverse of x equal to tangent inverse of x, that doesn't really make sense, because for example, if you take x equal to 1 over root 2, then this will be pi over 4 and this will be negative pi over 4. So you're saying that pi over 4 equals negative pi over 4, obviously not true, because pi is not 0. Big deal. So this, how does this plus c affect the game? Well, let's call this c1 and c2, and let's equate these two, because we got them from the same source, the integral of 1 over 1 plus x square, so they must be equal. So tangent inverse of x plus c1 is negative cotangent inverse of x plus c2. So now let's take the c2 to the other side, and let's just, sorry, the c1 to the other side, and let's make it c2 minus c1. And well, c1 is an arbitrary constant, c2 is also an arbitrary constant, so their difference is also an arbitrary constant. So let's call that c. So tangent inverse of x is equal to c minus cotangent inverse of x, and this c is actually the Gaussian integral, which is a negative integral from negative infinity to infinity of e to the negative x square dx whole squared over 2. This is c. If you put c equals this, then this equation holds, and this is actually better known to the public as pi over 2. Thanks for watching.
Turn it up. Let's go.